Hello and welcome to what should really be called my tongue-tied world, because my tongue feels very twisted up at this moment. And if it can manage to untwist itself, I thought I would give a little bit of advice from a beginner to those who are thinking about starting an Etsy shop. One of the most important pieces of advice I can give from a beginner to other beginners is don't make the mistake I did. The old adage is there, if it's not broke, don't fix it, for a reason. I learned that the hard way. I tried to fix something that wasn't broken because I was listening to some of these videos while doing my work and not giving enough attention, and there was that talk about tweaking things. What I didn't catch was being careful about tweaking things that were working, because you can tweak it to being from working to being broken. And that's what I did. I did that while I was starting out on KDP Amazon creating activity books. And I had a book. Wasn't making a lot of sales, but it was making 11 sales a month. And I tried to tweak it to make it better, and instead I crashed it. And that book has never sold the same since. So if you get anything out of this video, don't fix it if it's not broken. Make that one of the golden rules of your shop, and you will be much more successful. Tip number 2. If they're so right that if you're even thinking about starting an Etsy shop, or maybe selling books on Amazon, KDP Amazon, start your social media. I wish I had gotten over my nerves and started something like this site earlier, because it doesn't matter if you have a great design or a great idea. If no one knows about it, how are you going to sell it? Having a social media where you have people who know and care about you, who are interested in what you're doing, can be a great boost to someone who's starting out. Perhaps if I had started social media earlier, I would have more than 36 orders. I could have maybe doubled that number. I wish that years ago, when I first started thinking about starting my Etsy journey, that I had understood the value of social media platforms like YouTube and Pinterest. If I had only understood its benefits, its ability to create interest in your products, to drive free traffic to your shop, which would save lots of money, because especially if you're starting out on a shoestring budget, there's going to be so many things you want, so many things you need. Maybe you want a subscription to some site like Hello Kittle or Canva Pro, E-Rank or Marmalade, Hello Custom. There's so many different things that you're going to find you need, you want. Maybe you want a camera to take mock-up photos, or maybe you want to buy mock-ups on Etsy to start with. Samples of your product if you're doing Printify, and you need to want to order to see how it's look. There's going to be so many needs, so many places your money's going to have to go. And yes, you can buy Etsy ads, but why spend the money when you can get free traffic from places like YouTube and Pinterest? But unless you have a large following of family, a group of family and friends to drive up the views and to spark the interest, growing is going to be slow. And if you're like me, a nervous wreck, with just doing the audio portion, never mind trying to get in front of the video, it's going to take you time to grow your channel, develop those skills. So if you're thinking, take a lesson like I'm taking now from some of the bigger YouTubers. Over the past year, I've watched some of my favorite YouTube channels balloon into pretty good size channels, and I noticed that as several of them grew, they started selling merch, sometimes on a platform like Printify, and sometimes or Etsy, and sometimes from their own special website. And because they had that following, their items would go like hotcakes. Some of them selling out some of their items within the first few hours. That's the power of social media. If you're thinking about becoming a writer, if you're thinking about opening an Etsy shop or a Printify pop-up shop or a Shopify shop or something like that, learn from my mistake. Start your social media today. Start developing your YouTube skills. Pull out your camera. Start learning how to take pictures and get that lighting just so that your merchandise will pop and catch people's attention. Now, you might not have that perfect item to sell just yet. The shop might not be open, but the preparation that you do today will reap the rewards and save you a lot of long, heartbreaking days of waiting and waiting for that first sale to come. And then excitement it came, and a week, 2 weeks, a month goes by before you get your next. Save yourself that heartache. Develop those skills now and make your shop, your book, a success. If you've made it this far into the video, again, I want to say thank you for being so kind and listening to my struggling ramble.